You've been off the scene for a while, or people think that you've been off the scene for a while. Where has Emeka Ike been?
Emeka Ike has been where all the other artists that were in my genre are. There was a point in time when we were all pushed out of the system without the people knowing what happened. The government came in, the policy is everything. Just one policy could change everything for the whole industry. And there were days of, what do you call it? Where you go to rent films. What do you call rent?
Houses.
Where you rent those shops, you rent those booms that year, okay? All that just died for no reason. And we're all now using video clubs, right? All died for no reason, and now we only get used to using the decoders. So the transition from using jackets, buying movie in jackets, to decoder, that was where you lost us. We're not included. Our opinions was not engrafted into that process. So the people that made the policies out there just yanked us off, and we couldn't do what we needed to or what we loved doing anymore. Then too, Emeka Ike was depressed for a long time out of some marital whatever, and I was hiding. I was in shame for what I didn't do. So that's sometimes the price you pay for being large. So I was depressed. I was short-circuited for no reason, and I had to just hide my face until I know what was wrong with me. I could tell you at a point, I wanted to kill your Ebuka. I was looking for Ebuka. I thought I was going to see him in this show. I was like, Ebuka, I would have killed you for nothing. But Segun Arize came here and they called me a madman. Now, I was really angry and bitter that how could you just use such a word on air without coming to know who I am? I was, after Segun Arize, there was so much war in the Actors Guild of Nigeria. I was a de facto president. I was fighting for the people. They called me the people's president. And I was fighting against some institutions, some men that are there, the oligarchs. Then somebody in between sneaked in to take my life. So there were assassins everywhere for me. I was facing gunmen everywhere. It's in the news. Go to the press. Assassins came to my house on the road. They just want to take my life. It wasn't Segun Arize. It wasn't Ejike Asiegbu. It wasn't Ibn Abo. In fact, I lost my mother last month.
Oh, my condolences.
No, October, right? Yes, and I'll be burying her very soon. Ibn Abo called me, and she'll be coming for my mother's burial. But that year, I was like, oh, Ibn Abo, you want to kill me? Stuff. But the woman that was behind was somewhere quiet, and So we celebrities are exposed to so much dangers than we know. And Burna Boy said it. Last, everybody will chop breakfast. So all of us, they chop the breakfast.
Wow. Honestly, I genuinely feel your pain. I'm sure it's nothing compared to what you really went through, but in just few minutes, you've told me that you went through depression, went through marital issues, had issues with your colleagues in the industry, and also you felt that the transition to decoders and streaming platforms sort of affected the demand for your business as well.
Yeah.
I mean, with everything that's happened, how did you make this incredible comeback? Because I know you just featured in Malaika.
Yeah.
Doing Abraham's movie. So at what point did you say, you know what, I'm going to take my life back, I'm going to take myself back, and I'm going to be the man that I've always been? So what was the change? What happened? At what point? What changed?
When you realize that they're actually after you for who you are. They actually are envious about what you've achieved. So you're gonna ask yourself, what do I do next? Then what came to my head was, keep your head up. And I just kept doing the things that I needed to do properly, and the things I need to do. I just kept working on myself, kept investing. Like that year was after African Magic in court or whatever. I'm no more after them right now, because I actually own my own TV channel right now. I own Nollywood TV on Star Times. Channel 62. So it's all about reinventing yourself, you know, making sure you make the best of the negatives and the stones thrown at you to build the pillars that will fortify your next rise.
So I really want to touch on a very sensitive thing you said. If you feel free to talk about it, please. Because you did say something that you were going through marital issues and you were being accused of something you were not guilty of. But on the internet space, you never came out to clarify anything.
Yeah, it's difficult to clarify yourself because the same people that are bullying you on the internet, they are still there. They're going to say, whatever you say, they were like, no, don't mind him. He's still missing her. Why? Go ahead, move on. What? They just make you feel like, what's going on? And if you are not prepared to handle it, you'll be crushed. Okay? My secondary school, St. Nicholas College on CMD Road, Magodo, was shut down. Over $480 million naira investment. That year, 480 million naira investment was shut down, and all I had was constant battery. And I was always saying, look, I don't beat this lady. What's going on? I went on air. I was like, come on, I never did. Babe, what's going on? They say I beat you. Do I? No, but you're a star, you know, they can always manipulate things and all that. So I was gullible until I discovered that she was actually the one behind this whole thing. You know, some ladies are too desperate for marriage lately. And she actually told me one time that I'm not the marriage type. I didn't understand it. So the young man needs to know that there are plenty of ladies that are not the marriage type lately. And they're the ones that get you and I first. The good ones don't show the things, the signs that you want to go to a party with a girl. But these ladies show you everything you want to see. And then when you get into it, that's a luck. So it was depressing to find out that the person you were actually confiding in knows that men were coming to your house and was making calls with them and arranging and discussing this thing. And the resolution was, okay, after it all, blackmail him. I was busy grouping with the blackmail. I didn't know it was much more than that. So it was crazy. My school was shut down. Students were told, go home. This school is shut down. This marriage is shut down. On the same day, I was on air heading for a movie shoot in America. They already knew I was traveling. They were planning it. So I had to do, I was directing a movie and I was going to act in one of the movies. So 2 movies for J&J Pictures in Maryland. So they knew I was going to be away for a while. So they took their time to plan. So I was on air when she rang the bell. And all the students came out and said, look, I'm shutting down this school right now. You all have to go tell your parents, put you in another school. I wasn't waiting for it. I came back home to nothing. My property, my house has been moved. Everything in there, because my house is in Ogudu GRA, where I built my own house. But I was staying close to St. Nicholas College in Magodo, because if a student needs attention, I should be able to wake up 2 a.m., 3 a.m. to attend to it and do what I got to do. So they had moved all the properties I have in Lagos. I lost plenty of them, like 80% of my lands, because it was just the bag I traveled to America with that I had just with me.
So the documents for those lands were taken?
People are bidding on my property and I'm looking at it and I feel like killing myself because I can't defend what you don't have evidence to. So it was a planned thing.
So the evidence was taken?
There's no evidence because you came back, they've moved your load out of the house and you can't see any piece, nothing. Your wristwatches, your awards, your pictures with presidents, everything I got as Emeka Ike was gone. It was just that box I went to America with. So connecting with Malaika was very, very easy for me because you go through a lot of resilience, bottled up emotions, anger, confusion, misconstrued truths, making you feel manipulation, and you never know where it's coming from. Sometimes you want to please this person for the other person, but you don't even know that she's actually manipulating you. So I feel sorry for young men like you, especially. I don't know if you're married. I was asking someone at Aminu Kano airport yesterday. I just came through Saudi Arabia last night. I'm like, I'm sorry for the young men like you that are not married. Because the narrative out there is that it's all about the money. And when they come, they don't like you for nothing. You're just a blackmail issue. And you must be popular, you must be rich, you must be a very strong banker, a successful man to be a woman beater. No carpenter is a woman beater on the social space. No bricklayer is a woman beater on the social space. You have to be successful. And there are people like Iyabo Ojo that are there to back them up and say, hey, yes, 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 Kilode, Kilode. Now, your experience as Iyabo Ojo might not be the same thing with that lady, because that could be a criminal. Anybody who interacts with assassins, gunmen, is a criminal, male or female. So we need to understand that the social space is polluted in Nigeria. I'm a resident in Germany. My family also lives in Nuremberg. You don't put everything out there. You just don't go on air and post anything. So when I hear people say, it's my right, your right to abuse me, to give me a wrong image, and sorry is all I get for it, somebody needs to regulate our social space.
So you said sorry is all I get for it. Has she apologized?
If it was deliberate, there's no apology coming, because there's a lot to cover for. Man, I was haunted like a rabbit. Gunmen were coming to my house, marksmen. Go to Magodo police post. You see my statements. Marksmen were in my house this afternoon. Oh, 6 men came to my house the other night. Oh, some men came with gun. Not jokes. Then I was after Segun Arinze, because then as a human rights activist, I felt, well, they're coming for me because I'm fighting against them. It was a whole lot of manipulation.
Have you gotten your school back?
How can you get a school back? What's his name? The Minister of Aviation now. What's his name? That lawyer.
Festus Keyamo?
Festus Keyamo was to be my lawyer then. He was my lawyer before I became a government man. When he saw the damage, he said, bros, let me know use that word, and move on. Leave the school. It's messed up. Because this is a moral institution where you can be criticized or for being anything corrupt. Parents will pull their kids out. Where you can be maligned or anything being said about bad misbehavior, bad character, whatever shouldn't be mentioned around you as, So I couldn't save the school because parents were already pulling their kids out when the proprietors woke up on the same day I was on air. She sent the Prado Jeep that took me to the airport. And the driver came back. She asked, where is he? He said, our guy is on air. He said, okay, get me the assembly bell. And the students gathered and said, I'm shutting down. Get your parents to put in another school. And it was like a burial scene. Teachers were